Hello, welcome to the channel. I just ate chili. It's burning my tongue right now. Also, hello, welcome back to my channel. I'm drinking matcha today. This is my second cup of the day. Matcha is ruining me. I am basically high on caffeine, and my body is definitely not being kind to me because I'm not being kind to it. But anyway, today I want to talk about. Every time I say I want to talk about something, I keep forgetting what it is. But before I turn on the camera on like my phone, I definitely have a particular thing to say. I want to talk about how I go from a very ambitious person to now basically trying to make money off the internet, from climbing the corporate ladder to what, becoming an internet loser. I don't particularly want to use that word, but I feel maybe for the purpose of this video, it would be befitting. When I was still in corporate, like when I was still a junior in corporate, in Australia, you can become a cadet, and then a graduate, and then you become a senior, and then you become manager, and then from then on, like you can go up the ladder when it comes to, at least in accounting anyway. I don't know back in 2012. I don't know like the system now. Probably it's different names. Like maybe it's different labeling. Maybe it's analyst now, or team lead, or if you're in tech, it's just a very different terms to go up the corporate ladder. But I'm sure it's the same basically. It's just different marketing name. So I was a graduate, meaning like that means you finish your degrees. When you're cadet, you basically finish your high school, and then you're starting on your corporate world that way. As a graduate, I was like so determined to finish off my um, post grad, and then also started off my career. I wanted to work for 2 years, and then I wanted to go and be seconded, meaning like I want to go overseas on behalf of like the company and having that exchange. And after that, I was aiming to become a manager. Like my whole career was like in front of me. But of course, like throughout even my graduate career, I was so anxious every time I go into the office, every time I have to show up. I was running on caffeine. I wasn't eating properly. I did not know how to do everything myself. So I remember like saying to my friend, like, or no, not a friend, a colleague, yeah, I'm gonna finish my CA, which is like my chartered accountancy, and then I'm gonna go back to law school and finish my law degree. And after that, I probably want to go to secondment, and maybe when I come back, I don't know, or maybe I do another degree, or I'll pursue something else. And I remember when she said, wow, she was like telling her other friends, like her colleagues, this girl is so ambitious. I think like not even 2 months after that declaration that I made, I quit the job because my mom passed away, and I had suddenly had this whole downward spiral that lasted 13 years till now. But the things that I learned throughout this past 13 years is, especially like to young people, when you're in your 20s, I think it's okay to figure out what you want and just keep trying something new. And of course, like, because like at the end of the day, especially right now in 2025 that we're talking about, the future is so uncertain. Things can be taken away from you at a moment notice. You don't know when things, like Twitter was there. We thought that probably it was always going to be there, and then suddenly Elon Musk came in and whisked it away. And before we know it, it's X. Like it just became like, it was blue and it was cheery, it was chirpy. There was a bird as a symbol of it. It was like something that was quite not positive, but like just the idea of Twitter is just it's light, but it's also has some sort of substance. And suddenly when X big is introduced, it's like dark, it's black, it's like heavy. Like the whole concept of it suddenly get turned upside down. And I know I'm using that, but I mean, you can't really have like 100 years plan anymore, because you don't even know what the 100 days is going to be, because it changes so easily. When it comes to, especially when it comes to the career front in 2025, like you can be fired tomorrow without any second notice, or you can go into the office, or you can go like open up your laptop and suddenly you can't log on because you just been fired. You just didn't know it yet. Only you don't know it yet, and then you get an email saying, hey, you need to return your laptop. So everything in 2025 is definitely up in the air, right? But at the end of the day, maybe like if you really want to have financial security in Australia anyway, probably it's better to go off and become an apprentice in trades, like either become a plumber or electrician or work in construction. All these jobs are going to guarantee you money. So maybe you should learn all those. I mean, especially women. I reckon like women would be so good at being an electrician, because I think like out of all the trades, like that is the least amount of hard work, meaning like labor. Like you just have to twiddle with some wires, and if you're careful, hopefully you're not gonna be electrocuted. So because you need to turn off the power supply before you start any work. Um, so I feel like if you can get one of those jobs, it's probably going to give you a long term cash flow in Australia anyway, for sure. It's gonna get you 6 figures easy, and maybe after that, if you get that secure, you get that cash flow going, and you can explore your any kind of passion you have. Maybe you want to code, maybe you want to build a website, maybe you want to do some back end work for an IT company, or whatever it is that you are passionate about. Like, you can build it on top of that. I guess what I'm trying to say is my experience from going to a corporate square to a free spirited person on the internet is tough, and it's not for everyone. And there's a lot of financial insecurity attached to it. There's no financial stability whatsoever. Um, and to be honest, even though I am in a very precarious situation in all my life areas, like nothing is stable or can be predicted at 41 years old. I don't have anything to show for at 41 years old. I don't have any enough saving to get me through old age. I don't have a lot of investment. I do have like, micro investment. Like you go, like if, okay, this is a plug. Maybe like I have Raise, which is Raiz. I have a link in description below as a referral link. Like if you want to go and check out what it is. I have that because in the on the like during the pandemic, they got me really scared with bank runs, and the ability not to have your own money and not to be able to withdraw your money from the bank. That got me really scared. So I got on this micro investing app called Raise, where you can deposit like $5, $10 to start investing in EFT. So I got doing that like 5 years ago, but that's not a lot. It's not like I have $1 million portfolios that the dividends of can feed me every single month. Maybe one day, because I had like 12 years, 13 years ago, I saw like a retirement account with shares, and basically people are living based on dividends and also based on interest of their bank account. So those things happen a lot. But I guess like if it were me, I would just reinvest the dividends back again. That's what I have been doing for the past 5 years. It's not a lot actually. I just checked and I only have like $150 dividend for the past 5 years all up. But the point is, you have to figure out who you are and what type of person you are, if you are able to cope with a lot of instability or not, if you're and also what's important for you, because if you can't cope with a lot of financial instability, I think it's quite hard to go from like a corporate situation and to a freelance or a free spirited type of situation. And you have to go through a lot of suffering as well, and you have to limit your desire to buy anything worldly. Like you can't buy your favorite drinks, for example, because it's too expensive. You have to stop eating out because it's too expensive. I'm so scared now when I see the prices eating out. It's like $17, $20. Like the places that I used to visit, I used to buy like dinner after work, and it would cost me $13 to buy just like a proper fried rice from a proper restaurant in Westfield, for example, in the Sydney Pitt Street Mall, and I would pass that restaurant and then I would just buy dinner. $13. Even back then, I would thought to myself, "Oh, this is a bit expensive, but I can't be bothered to cook, so I'm just gonna buy." But now, I think the same dish would cost me $25. I will not buy that. My conscience will not let me. It's too expensive, and but at the same time, I'm also not regretting my choices. I'm not regretting my decision in a lot of ways. Maybe because I have to not regret it, because if I regret it, it's probably going to bring me a lot of emotional pain, a lot of spiritual pain, and that's probably not good to add up to, day to day life. Uh, but one thing that I did gain out of the whole mess is this sense of not pride, but a sense of confidence, maybe, but not in terms of like it doesn't erase anxiety, it doesn't erase the panic attacks, it doesn't take it away from me. I still have those moments. I still have a lot of moments where I'm highly dysregulated and my body just crashed on me. But I ate chili, so my nose is runny. I really just ate chili. I just like basically just take a bite of chili like that and put it and then chew on it. I'm Asian. This is what we do. Um, it's really good to clear up your sinus. Um, because I've been having sinus problems. Feel like I'm just divulging a lot of unimportant information onto you. I feel like I'm gaining a sense of confidence just because I'm still here. I'm still surviving despite whatever it is that I have gone through the past 13 years. I still can't believe that I'm existing still, and I'm still eating every single day. It's so weird because I really thought I would not have been here. I really thought I would have died a long time ago, to be honest. The person today, 13 years later, is completely different person like 12, 13 years ago. And of course, how could a 41-year-old be the same person as a 28-year-old? But I don't know, because I have seen 70-year-old, 80-year-old still acting like they're 20s. Not like not like acting as if that they were 20-year-old, but like still have the same mentality. I feel as if that there is some part of them that hasn't really managed to achieve maturity whatsoever, and despite their long life, it was as if that something has frozen in them at 20 or something, or 25, and it hasn't been updated yet. And I think it has something to do with the fact that they probably never done a lot of things by themselves, and like they haven't gone through hardship like to a degree where it's just that life and death situation by themselves. And I don't mean like childbirth. I think like that's a very separate issue altogether. But that's definitely also can impact you, of course, if your childbirth experience can be very traumatic and a life death situation. But I think that's a very compartmentalized situation altogether. I guess like I'm just talking about not career wise, but also other things basically. I think like you will see women that have to defend for themselves, even though they still might have a lot of childishness upon them. When they have to defend themselves, meaning like they have to work for themselves, they have to work for their family, for example, there are no men around them that helps them, or there are no other family members, like they are it. You will see a different kind of maturity from them. And maybe, but at the same time, you also can see like part of them has died and you can't touch like something about them. Like I have seen like one person basically being so cut off from their tender and caring nature because they basically have supported themselves and their family ever since their husband died. And you can see like if you try to approach them in a vulnerable way, you will get shut down and you will get pushed away really quickly. So in some sense, like what they have to do to be able to survive, and you can see that little bit of hardship. And i- so sometimes survivalship also sacrifice something in you has to die. And I definitely experienced that. A lot of me has to die before this particular person that can exist and survive to be here. And that also means disconnecting with a lot of people from your past, mainly because the friends of the people from the past is a different version of you. It's not the you now. So it's quite hard to move forward if you are still around them. It just feels like very different. Yeah, I feel like, is that it? Am I on topic? I don't feel like I was on topic. Being a freelance is something that you don't, I think you have to be comfortable with uncertainty, something that you have to embrace. And in some ways, I guess it's training me in particular, or training you to be comfortable with chaos, with getting used to with the idea that, hey, things are going to change. It's going to keep on changing. Like the good things is not going to last, the bad things are not going to last. Even in crisis mode is not going to last. It's like everything cannot last forever. And there is no such thing as a prolonged hell. Well, there is. It's called purgatory. Purgatory is worse than hell because purgatory is when nothing good is happening, nothing bad is happening. It's just flatline. And I think that's worse than hell because hell is really, really painful. And when things are extremely painful, you don't remember anything at all. You don't worry about anything at all except for your present moment pain. That's the only thing that you're facing. But in purgatory, you worry about everything, but like at a medium dose. And that means you are just suffering all the time. Well, with hell, right? With hellish experience, you get hit a threshold and then you pass out if you can't handle it anymore. Your consciousness will just take it out of you. You will just be removed from it. Either you dissociate, like you seeing yourself from a distance, like you looking down at your body type of thing, or you just pass out. You just opting out from the consciousness altogether. That's like hellish environment. There is a limit. And in a physical thing is usually when you either die or pass out. But purgatory is when you suffer at a medium dose. It's like chronically ill is a purgatory basically because you're not getting better, but and it's not like you're getting worse either. You're just always suffering. So I think like the freelance world is teaching you how to, because you can't change your circumstances, so it's teaching you how to enjoy being in the circumstances regardless whether it's torturing you or not. That's really bad thing to say, but I feel like that's it. I don't know. What should I title this video? I started out as saying like, how to go from a corporate square to a freelance. Like, does it take for you to do that? The benefits of it. But I don't know. I just talked about rumbles about being a freelance and what it means and stuff. Anyway, I'll title it something. Uh, I'll see you guys later. My name is Valerie. I'm a solopreneur on the digital era based in Sydney, Australia. If you want to check out my other works, go to the description box below and see my links. And I will see you in the next video. Bye, everyone.